cold cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off into fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
What's up, everybody? Today is almost Friday is what I'm going to say. And yeah, I'm late, but hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? It's been a week. This week has been crazy. Wow, it's just been, trial after trial, right? Quentin, Boone. And then after this, I'm going to come on here. I'm going to do the deception detective take, and then I'm going to bring my stream over to Duty Ron. And we have some, if you don't know who that is, we'll watch it for a little bit. And if you want to go over to his stream, you can. Let's say prayers for Duty Ron. If you guys are Ron members, put a 1 in chat, and then we can do it together. I'll let you know when that comes on, and we'll let him have an announcement. Hello, everybody. What's up, Rosie? How you doing? Tomorrow is finally a members only. And I have something in mind that I want to, something that I follow, the Valo case and her son, Colby, talking to her. Thank you, Val. Val, what's up? How you doing? One, love Duty Ron. I'm pretty sure everybody loves Duty Ron over here. So we're going to show him some support after this. We're going to get through that. What's up? Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't, and make sure you get a membership, because tomorrow is going to be the day to discuss anything you want, any topic. You guys call it, we'll do it. You can ask questions. We can do things that we don't do on a normal basis. And Raina, we love you. It's free to hit the like button. You say I'm on a fixed income, so am I, and so is probably everybody in chat. So it's really free to just hit that like button and subscribe, and then share with the community. Hello. Yeah, Duty Ron, we all love him. We're going to show some love to him after, and love to you, Rosie, for getting the train always started for 99-cent super chat. Everything helps. Tomorrow we can actually talk about my roof. Everybody always asks me about my roof and what happened and it falling in. It still fell in. I don't have ceilings. We'll get into that tomorrow. If you want to know more, come to tomorrow night's live stream. That is going to be a live stream for you specifically, for all the people that have been paying and, and subscribing. Yeah, I understand by the government. I feel like we're all on some, the government takes all of my money in taxes. So, Mama Hoffman, what's up? Love you. And we love Deception Detective. He's probably busy today, but I did let him know that we would be here collaborating with him and going over Stephan Sterns and how to interrogate a guy like that. So let's do it. Let's get into it so we can get on to the next thing. I always have jam-packed for you guys.
This line of questioning might be the best of the entire interrogation. The detectives may have seen his illicit Google Cloud photos. Yet, once again, Stephan remains ice cold. He continues to lie the way only a psychopath can.
Duty Ron, thank you so much. And everybody, Duty Ron's in the house. We love him, and we're going to go over to his stream as soon as we're done here. We're going to show him some love. We all love him. We're all rooting for him, and we're all saying prayers for Mr. Duty Ron, Papa Ron, whatever you want to call him. We love you very much, all of us, and we're going to show our support for you any way we can. And I'm going to do that by putting everybody over to you. Patty Ward, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. You guys will find out in a bit about Ron. If you haven't, we'll let him do his thing. Yes, we love him. We're sending prayers to you, Ron.
Getting a liar to confess is hard. Let's watch Stephan Sterns' interrogation for some tips on what works and what doesn't work.
Tell you, I'm 37. About to be 38. You seem like a genuinely nice person. You try to be. Jennifer talks very highly of you. So the morning school, you came back.
And you guys all know it's kind of hard to hear this. So, yes, much love and respect to you, Ron, and everybody in here. Say a prayer. Synth will direct everybody after to chat, and Ron can make his announcement, what he wants to talk about. We love you, Ron. In the meantime, while we're waiting for him to stream, we're going to go over Stephan Sterns. We're going to go over with Deception Detective and just understand when you're interrogating or talking to somebody and you get on their good side by telling them, hey, you're a genuinely good guy, you can probably get anything out of somebody like Stephan Sterns and, well, Jen Soto. All right, let's go. We're on a time frame, and yeah, my dog's yelling.
Back. Hit your clicker. What was your?
She didn't say anything. She was just asleep. She just reclined in the chair sleeping.
Okay, explain to me, like reclining backwards.
Just laying back in the chair. Like that, I guess. Stephan is lying, and they know it. They know Madeline was never dropped off at school. In fact, they have CCTV footage of him driving around with Madeline's limp body in the passenger seat, which is why they're asking about how she was seated. But Stephan doesn't know that. He also doesn't know they found explicit photos of Madeline on his phone, or CCTV footage of him throwing her school laptop and backpack into a dumpster. You'll see why that's important next.
All right, Stephan here. I'm going to be too old to lie to people, too old to beat around the bush, and we seem like we're having a generally good conversation right now. Okay. The only thing that I ask for from you is, and I will reciprocate, I want you to be honest with me as much as I'm being honest with you. Okay. There's cameras all over the place, as you can imagine. Nowadays, cameras are everywhere. Okay. So we see you coming in at the guard shop.
And don't forget, y'all, you all know Duty Ron, and you know his videos are always on point. He's also covering the Madeline Soto case. So, go over to his channel and consume as much as you can on his channel tonight and moving forward, because his take is one of the only takes that I even can listen to. Nowadays, everybody's on just a way different page, but him and I align with #arrestjennsoto, and just his views are, just right on. He doesn't cut to the he cuts to the chase. He doesn't fluff anything up, just how we like it on this channel.
Jack. Okay. We see you go by the dumpster. Okay.
I better take some trash with me then.
What was in the trash?
House trash.
House trash?
Yeah. So it must have been that morning. We'll toss trash bags on the back seat. Wherever we're going on our way out, we'll drop that out. I think I may have mentioned to her. I'll have to double check.
Okay. Was everything in trash bags?
I'm sorry?
Was everything in trash bags, or was there any items that were just tossed along with the bag?
I think it would be trash bags, or maybe some boxes too. Some birthday stuff, leftovers. Can't remember exactly what.
Okay. When you for school, did she have her backpack with her?
Yes.
She did. Did she have her school computer with her?
Yes. Did you throw Maddie's laptop away? It's the obvious question, especially with video of him doing it. If he says yes, they get a nice little admission. But what if he says no? You can't give suspects the opportunity to deny anything critical. Getting a guilty person to confess is hard enough. If they deny the act first, now you have to get them to admit they're a liar too. That's why these detectives framed the question the way they did. Instead of directly asking Stephan if he threw out the laptop, they simply hinted that there might be a CCTV camera near the dumpster. This nudges Stephan to align his story more closely with the truth without calling him a liar or cornering him into a denial. However, as you'll see, this tactic doesn't always pay off. Presumably, yes.
Presumably. Okay.
She should have.
I don't envy these detectives, but I definitely, I love the work that they did, and I love how they were played so nice to somebody like Sterns that sits there and pretends like he's a victim, and he's such a sweet, nice guy that cuddles with children, just for the good of the world. And Ron, I'm sure you know these guys all too well over your career. I wish I could do just one interrogation with these scumbags, but thousands, man, he knows what he's doing here.
Once again, this goes back with the whole honesty thing. There was things in that trash bag that got thrown away that probably shouldn't have been thrown away. Okay. We'll get that in a minute. But right now, our main focus is finding. That is our number one focus right now. Okay. Do you have any idea where she may be?
No.
None whatsoever.
Now, in case you all didn't know, they did know already what was happening at this point. They wanted to find Maddie and where she was. That's what they wanted out of this the whole time, and that's what they're getting out with Stephan Sterns. And then the Jen Soto interview that we also saw that was in the same day, different times, different hours apart. They wanted to find Maddie. They wanted to see if there were any special places. And this is how they're doing it. First, they went in for the, hey, we know you're a good guy. We can tell. And is there any place you think she'd be? They try to get hints. Although you guys got to know, 192. You guys remember that? Is it 192? Did I get it wrong? 192. That Jen said over and over and over. All right. They know what they're getting to. Pay attention to how they do it, and pay attention to these unusual details that Stephan Sterns keeps spitting out, called scripting.
Okay. All right. Something may have happened. Do you think
I don't think so. I don't think what could happen.
Do you have any idea where Madeline might be? That was a bad question, and here's why. It forced Stephan to either incriminate himself or deny it. And predictably, he denied it. Even if they come up with some creative rationalization for why he might know where she is, it's going to be tougher for him to admit that now, because he'll have to admit that he lied when he said no. Even worse, the detective made him double down on that denial when he asked none whatsoever. Instead, the detective should have led with what he said next. Something may have happened. It's non-confrontational and doesn't beg a denial. It also implies the police might already know something, just like when they hinted at CCTV cameras being near the dumpsters. In other words, it doesn't put the suspect on the defensive, but it might trigger the mind virus that forces them to adjust their story to align a bit more closely with the truth, because they're not quite sure what the interviewer knows. It's similar to getting an email from your boss saying, "Come to my office," or a text from your partner, "We need to talk," or when a cop asks you, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" Even if you're certain you've covered your tracks, it plants the mind virus. They already know you did something wrong, and that lying will only make things worse. That said, even if these detectives had played it perfectly and not asked any bad questions, I'm not certain this tactic would have worked on Stephan in particular. Watch what he says next, and maybe you'll figure out why.
Do you know anybody who lives in St. Cloud? Do you know where St. Cloud is?
St. Cloud, that's...
Now, keep in mind, they're so close and they don't even know it yet. Remember, the tipster is the one that's going to tip him off. There are two people that called in that talked about Stephan Sterns having a flat tire. They actually got them to look at that spot, but they were looking at it the whole time and they didn't even know it. So remember this as Stephan Sterns continues to talk, that the explanations that he gives, well, first of all, they're scripted, and he says 192, 192, 192, which was leading to 192, obviously. And then it reveals all kinds of explanations of things that happened he'd make up a story even if he had no idea. Well, what about the girl in the parking lot? What about this? Oh yeah, I took out the house trash. Unusual explanations. If you don't have the Deception Detective deck, please get it. It will help you in your personal life, and if you want to do true crime for yourself or start a channel, it's fantastic.
That's north or south?
East.
East
of Kissimmee.
Yeah. I haven't been out there too much, but yeah, I'm familiar with St. Cloud.
Okay. Whereabouts in St. Cloud? Like, friends out there, or?
I don't have any friends, really. I've driven out there a few times before, but mostly just when I'm meandering up and down 192.
Were you out there this week?
Yeah, I was out there sometime this week. Sometimes I just drive and meander around and explore. Drive till I don't know where I am, and drive till I know where I am again. driving just it's peaceful sometimes.
All right.
If I got time to kill, I'll just drive around.
All right. So you're saying when she had her backpack, presumably her school computer was in her backpack, and you described her wearing green jackets, kind of dark colored shorts, and white Crocs. Okay. Well, I can confidently tell you she did not go to school with her backpack.
How's that?
Because we found it in the trash. So, Stephan, here's what I'm asking you and pleading with you is to dig down and do some soul searching.
Yes.
Okay. You understand? Family's pleading with you. I'm pleading with you because this is that we need to find. And it's as more time goes by, it's tough. I have kids, he's got kids. And this little girl's out there somewhere that we need to know where.
So 10 minutes in, they meandered their way into finding out where Madeline Soto was. They didn't quite get that from him, but every time they heard the 192 and the subtle lies that he was telling, I mean, why you wouldn't need to lie about if a child took her backpack if you had nothing to hide. And that was a perfect description what deception detective said. If your wife or your significant other or your boss says, hey, I need you to come in, we need to talk, but they don't tell you what. So at this point, Stephan Sterns, I'm pretty sure, knows that he's caught. He knows that the officers took his phone and it probably didn't wipe all the way. All right, let's listen. Yeah, Stephan Sterns doesn't seem to care at all, Scary Sherry, but I'm sure he does. He's been lying his butt off the whole time because he thought that he was smarter than them.
And I really, really, really think you can help us. I mean, you want to get something off your chest. I don't know what it is, but I'm pleading with you.
I don't know. I don't.
What happened?
I dropped her off.
Where?
I dropped her off on the road to school. That's the last I saw her.
Psychopaths don't feel empathy, so pleading with them is pointless. Telling them you know they want to confess won't work either because they don't feel remorse. So how do you get a psychopath like Stephan Sterns, and I do think he's a psychopath, to confess? If you've seen my Chris Watts series, you'll know the FBI uses a tactic that downplays the crime and shifts the blame onto external factors like society and even the victim. This can make the psycho feel understood, sometimes just enough to confess despite themselves. Here's how I described it in my video, How to Interrogate a Psycho. And you'll notice that the interrogator...
And you guys can go back and watch this. I think we did this a few weeks back, but if you look in my Deception Detective playlist or Chris Watts playlist, you can find this. Really good job. And right now we're comparing Stephan Sterns to Chris Watts. It's real similar how they talk. They're different. They're meandering into the story. They're telling a lot of things that have nothing to do with the story to try to throw them off. Pay attention to that. I know most of you follow the Watts case as much as I do. We're still, as Watts, the Obsession calls it, on Watts Island. Very similar.
Are not doing what you might expect them to do if all you know about interrogation comes from the movies. They're not shouting at him and saying, you know you planned this, or accusing him of lying, or threatening to impose extra penalties on him if he doesn't tell them the truth. They're going along with him. Well, yeah, that seems to be the case, that you really didn't have much control of your life. Other people really were controlling you. You didn't shoot her from across the room. It was up close and personal. You strangled her, just like a crime of passion. And what are they doing when they do this? Are they actually falling for what he's saying? No. What they're doing is they're making him feel in control of the conversation so that he's more likely to open up. That's not the approach these detectives are using with Stephan, though. They're going with a different strategy that can also work with stubborn liars, making the suspect realize that lying won't save them and that their best move is to either barter or beg for mercy. This becomes clearer as the interrogation continues and their hints about having evidence against him grow more direct.
Sometime throughout the night on Sunday, did you guys have any interaction, conversations?
Fight?
No.
Now, before we get into this, Scylla, you can get this on your iPhone or your Android, and it's much cheaper that way. If you don't want the actual deck, it is well worth it. Now, cooperative subjects like he's not being uncooperative. He's lying, but he's setting his own trap. Liars often set their own trap by telling stories that don't match up or telling scripts over and over and then messing up that one little script, especially when there's two people involved in the scripting. The cops pick up on that, and that's what they're doing right now. He's actually set his own trap, and they're going in for it to collect it.
No, I'm not saying fight. Just, did you guys sit up and talk, or
Talked while I was making ramen. She was excited about her choir performance coming up. She was singing a little bit. I told her it was pretty. It reminded me of Sister Act. That's why I wanted to show her that movie. Just talking about crushing on the boy.
how'd that make you feel?
She knows she's not old enough to date, but I told her crush on. Get your crush. That's healthy.
Do you think, has she?
All right, right there, Wyatt, I'm speaking to you. Why did he do this? I think my motive for this was, what I think the motive was for this was that Maddie was growing out of Stephan Sterns, becoming a teenager, and what he just said right now, get your crush on. Right there, when I heard that and the way he said that and how he's locked up and how he's upset, I've always thought it was a jealousy thing. Whether it was a jealousy thing between Jen Soto and Stephan Sterns, or Stephan Sterns and Maddie and her classmates or boys, I've never thought it was anything other than that. Only for a split second when I heard them talking about pregnancy test or whatever, I was like, wait a minute, why would they say that like 192 over and over and over? But after I heard this, and I heard Jen Soto, and I heard this narrative of the jealousy, Mama Sage right, and I heard him say crush on right then and there, I was like, he was jealous. He was in love, in my opinion, with Maddie, and he snapped. Coach Complete, what's up, my man? Good to see you. I almost thought that was Deception Detective for a minute. You're a Deception Detective lookalike.
Had you boyfriends in the past?
Not per se, boyfriends as however they can be early on, but we decided that she was too young, needed to avoid that BS.
All right, being that she's too young, so she shouldn't be having sex with boys.
She's all the that stuff. None of it counts. It's real. I just told her she did better off waiting till high school.
Mm-hmm. Has she ever talked to you about boys?
A little bit sometimes.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't love, rah, baby. When you have a person like Stephan Sterns, I don't know if he knows what love is. It was control, absolutely. But in his sick mind, I believe, and you see the things, how he is. He's like a child. His mentality didn't change to an adult. It never changed. He wanted to play games and paint and do things and meander around the children. So yeah, love is not a word that we would use as adults, normal adults that have been, that have grown up and are mature. That's not love, what he was doing to Maddie by any means. Am I saying that?
Has she ever, because I asked Jennifer the same thing, has she ever disclosed to you about being sexually active with boys?
No.
She's never been sexually active with anybody in the past?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
I heard there was some sort of incident when she was much younger where she did something with the phone.
When she was much younger, I started, is what he meant to say. Yeah, he is revolting and disgusting, and there's not a word for him that I could even say without YouTube saying, don't say that. But it's really infatuation, twisted infatuation, whatever it is. We can say all of those things because it's not anything that we can understand. And at some point, I'm going to introduce you to the Mandu channel, and you're going to just be like, you're going to watch it and get stuck watching it, and you're going to see how many people there are out there like this. I always say the world is ran by people like this. It's not uncommon. It's terrible.
Her camera, but got scolded where she was very young. She didn't know. She got scolded for it though. But it's vague. It's just remembering what someone said offhand.
Young girls can get crushes on older men. Did you ever get that vibe from Maddie? You told us that anecdote about Maddie taking inappropriate photos. Do you think that's the only time she ever did that? I can only imagine what it's like to be in your shoes, to be on so much medication, so anxious. I'm sure you do things sometimes that you don't even mean to. These are examples of FBI-style blame shifting. Unsettling to say, but they could have pushed Stephan to open up. After all, he already admitted to cuddling in bed with Madeline earlier in this interview.
Cuddling
But
in
these
bed.
detectives aren't using that tactic. They aren't shifting blame, minimizing Stephan's actions, or rationalizing them the way the FBI did with Chris Watts. Instead, they're trying to corner Stephan by pressing him on his timeline and inconsistencies. But would they have been better off using the FBI's approach? I'll address that the next time we pause.
What happened to your hand?
Flat tire. I haven't changed a flat tire in about 10 years. So I made a rookie mistake and had my thumb too close to where the jack and the frame meet. And it slipped, and the frame came down on my thumb and pinned it between the jack, which Blake got off surprisingly light with that.
Ouch.
He yanked it free. You're not supposed to do that. It's okay. It's got the worst of it. It's bruising under the nail.
What about the other scratches?
Courtesy of a janky tire iron and the road.
Did you bleed at all?
Yeah, this one had some blood and this one had some blood, but not much. It clotted fast.
Now remember, he also had scratch marks on him and little tiny like scabs that you could tell happened from however many days ago once it starts to scab over. So, Emma Joy, you say flat tire. Can you use that in a sentence, sir? Right. Fragmented sentences. I was just reading that card. Pay attention to what he's doing and the verbiage he's using. And he uses the same thing over and over. Yeah, janky, Jen's a gypsy. He keeps using that word. And I have a feeling that's what he tries to be cool with. Because if you notice, he tries to be cool and the smartest person in the room. All right. I found your Duty Ron. I found you from Duty Ron Lover Channel. Come in late, and we'll go find Duty Ron right after this. You see what I did?
Think that's the only time she ever did that? I can only imagine what it's like to be in your shoes, to be on so much medication, so anxious. I'm sure you do things sometimes that you don't even mean to. These are examples of FBI-style blame shifting. Unsettling to say, but they could have pushed Stephan to open up. After all, he already admitted to cuddling in bed with Madeline earlier in this interview. But these detectives aren't used.
Way floppier and then just completely freaking separated. Like how we had a spare and a jack. Jinky as it was.
So typically when changing a tire and stuff, you tend to get brake dust and dirty and all that.
Yeah.
Did you happen to,
Positive that I breathed in some freaking brake dust or tire dust or something because I was coughing the rest of the afternoon.
what'd you end up doing to clean up or stop the bleeding and stuff?
Nothing, actually. Just
Yeah,
went
get
home
dirty.
and washed my hands and that was it.
Your clothes get all messed up and all, or
Not bad. Surprisingly.
Now, if Ron was in here, I'm sure he would tell you that those things they're talking about are probably referring to wanting to know if he got dirty from the crime scene, from what he did, if he needed to change his clothes. They wanted to get at, oh, you changed your clothes? What'd you do with those clothes? Are you dirty from changing the tire? No, I'm just dirty. He should have said that. However, I know what they were getting at. I think we all know when we pay attention what they're getting at, because they want to find those clothes that have maybe fluids or blood or something on them from that. But he never changes his clothes. You're right. Thank you, Serber, for the $1 super sticker. I'm sure it's an avocado.
what were you wearing? by chance?
This. So I think I'm still wearing this. I'm still wearing the same clothes.
Oh, so you kept everything.
Try to, I guess.
You weren't wearing a red shirt?
I was wearing a red shirt early in the morning. But I changed clothes later because that shirt was maybe a couple days like that. And the flat tire happened after that.
Did a flat tire happen before or
After.
after?
It was sometime afternoon between noon and like 2:30.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long it took me to fix it.
Did you change your shirt before or after going back to get the gate clicker?
I don't recall. Maybe after. I can't. I'm so sorry. I was medicated. I've been medicated all week. My memory is just not as reliable as I'd like it
Hashtag I took my meds for you, Serber.
to be right now. You know, I was in a fog and half asleep that morning as it was.
Or on her own when you took her to school?
Yes.
notice the long silence, everybody, when they say you took her to school. Very long silence, and you can see it on his face that he's thinking, he's brewing something up. It's too long of a pause. Right when they said you took her to school, he was thinking of what happened before, maybe when he was putting her in the car, how he took her out, put her in the trunk. Something's going on there. Yeah, coach, complete. He probably was taking roofies. He roofied himself. Something's going on in his head, and it just stopped. The conversation stopped. Yeah, he's thinking what to say, but he also says in different stories at different times, him and Jen both say it's the first time he ever took her, but he says he took her a couple times. What is he thinking? What's going on? What part of that story is playing in his head right now? You can see it.
What are you thinking about?
So spacing out here.
Spaced out.
No speed.
Who else has access to your car? Are you the only one that drives it?
When your parents have access.
But here in Kissimmee.
Yeah, Kissimmee, I'm pretty much the only one with access to it.
Pretty much.
So say to say you're the only male driving that Lincoln.
Now, that's another thing. When someone says pretty much, basically, or anything at the beginning of it that doesn't make them commit to what they just said, it's probably a lie. Pretty much, basically, what? Did you or did you not? Now you know he's leading into a lie, and he lied.
Presumably, yes.
Stephan deceives without technically lying, as I explained in my video, How to Catch a Psychopath. I won't rehash all the techniques he uses here, but I'll link that video at the end of this one. In short, Stephan avoids giving disprovable answers by hedging them with terms like presumably and being vague. It is impressive the detectives caught him in an inconsistency about when he got the flat tire and when he changed his shirt. But as I said earlier, I can't help but wonder how much more they could have gleaned by appealing to his ego. They had plenty of opportunities to do something like blaming external factors like his medication, or even Jen saying something like, "She sent both of you to bed together on Sunday, right? Why do you think she did that?" By taking that approach, they may have coaxed him into revealing more about his views on Madeline and what he considered to be acceptable behavior. It's totally possible.
I think he would have clammed up, everybody. I think he's the kind of guy that would have clammed up if they would have gave him a direct question or just send something directly to him, like, why'd Jen send you to bed? How often did that happen? What were you doing? I think if any bit of their tone would have changed past his wimpy voice tone and when it would have gone up, he probably would have just frozen up and not said anything. Do I need a lawyer now? Is what I think. And I think any interrogator that sees that kind of person that he is would say the same thing. He would freeze. And when we watch this part where he says, "Do I need a lawyer?" he would have said that right then and there. Thank you, Coach Complete. Last time it was 12,000. I'm thankful and grateful for the growth. Thank you all for being here.
Possible, maybe even likely, that he would have stubbornly stuck to his story just like he's doing now, even in the face of suggestions that he's been caught on camera. We'll never know, especially after this next part where everything comes to a head.
I want to get back a little bit to you saying she's not allowed to have boyfriends or anything like that.
She have crushes. She likes them.
All right. Have you and her ever exchanged, do you guys exchange text messages? How do you guys communicate?
FaceTime. She'll FaceTime me at night when I'm not around before bedtime to say goodnight and talk. Sometimes we don't even talk about anything. We just sit there doing our own thing and just with each other's faces on the phone. Just spending time,
What happened? So the deputies made a comment. So what happened to your phone?
I have no idea what happened to my phone. I was pushing off doing this update for a while and ended up trying to do it. I don't know what the hell my head being in the state it was. I wasn't paying attention. I ended up somehow doing some sort of option.
And now we're not checking out his body language, but this officer right here has been staring at him nonstop to see his verbal communications, how he's crossing his arms, how he's blocked off, how he's not making eye contact. He hasn't taken his eyes off of Stephan Sterns, but I've been watching him too. And when he talked about Maddie once again having a boyfriend and say no, his brows, he got mad. His face looked like it got mad. And now he's back to telling a story and not looking them in the eyes whatsoever. Very weak voice as well.
That, updated the OS, but it ended up like wiping my phone at the same time. Even just now, the phone that my dad gave me and set up for me, I literally just pulled it out of my pocket and the sucker was reinitializing again.
Hmm.
So I don't know if it's just being technology right now or just not paying attention or.
Did that happen once to your phone, or?
All right. All right, y'all. So Duty Ron has an announcement, and I gotta bring it over to them because I want you to hear this. I'm gonna stop this in the middle because I didn't want to play his intro, but I didn't want to miss this. So let's go take a look what he's saying.
Which is a derivative of lymphoma. I'm going to get a PET scan tomorrow, and I'm coming live to tell you guys all that I need your prayers. I don't need money. I don't need things. I need my life, and I need to get a good, clean PET scan tomorrow. So as I pinned in the chat, all I'm asking of you guys is to pray for me. We always ask when we cover these cases to pray for others. And I say to you, I'm asking all of my prayer warriors, men and women, are meditators, the people who
Yes.
do not have any faith in, if they don't believe in God, or atheist folks, just say positive things.
Yes.
So I get a clean scan tomorrow. My goal is not to have this cancer that's in my cheek here, in my heart, in my lungs, in my pancreas, in my any of the other organs in my body. And tomorrow that PET scan, although I won't get the results until a day or two later, that's going to tell the tale of what's going to happen to me. And I want to thank all the prayer warriors and all the people in the chat and from this community, the Jumpsuit Pablo community, the Coralites from TikTok, the Guilty of Crime community, I'm sure Mike King's community, and Profiling Evil, and everybody that hears this on replay will all be praying for me. But I've always come live to ask you to help other people. I've never come live to ask you guys to help me. And I'm now turning to you, my friends, my community, the people who love each other here, and not just in this community, but in all of the communities, to come together and pray for me, pray for my
Prayers,
family.
everybody.
My wife is devastated, but she knows that I'm going to fight. And this cancer is if you get it early, it's got a good high success rate with treatments, but no two cancers are the same. I'm going to give you a little bit of an example. Hodgkin's lymphoma, 9,000 people across America get diagnosed with it a year. Not a lot. I mean, 9,000 sounds like a lot, but when you look at our population, 9,000 people get diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. But non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is the more common one and much more treatable, 81,560 people a year get stricken with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I'm praying for that for me, but I don't know yet until this gets. I need to get another core biopsy where they take a needle that has a hole in it, poke into my cheek, and go into this tumor, this cancer tumor that I thought all along was going to be nothing. They have to do a core biopsy. And then I need a bone marrow biopsy to make sure it's not my bones. But the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma has 90 different derivatives. There's 90 different variations of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I never knew anything about lymphoma until I got it. So I want to say thank you to all of you here in the chat who are sending prayers and positive vibes to me, because you always hear me and Ed at the end of our live stream say, let's send strength, prayers, and positive vibes to everybody.
To you.
Right? But that's not what's happening here today. I'm flipping the script on you guys, and I'm flipping the script on you to ask you to help me.
We're here.
So I really appreciate each and every one of you. Let me just do a quick audio. Okay. I just did a quick audio check. So for those of you in the chat that might say that you don't hear the audio, I hear it. So I have a couple of things I and this is the reason I asked for the prayers, is this is the exam that I'm going to get tomorrow. For those of you who don't know what a PET scan is, it's a full body from my head down to my pelvis. And it's going to scan every major component in my body. And it's going to tell me if there's any more of this cancer, this lymphoma. Has it spread? And that's what I'm nervous about, because once I know about it, once I know what my cancer is, I'm going to kick its ass. We are going to kick its ass together. And for those of you who are out there or suffered or have family members who suffered in the past, I lost my father to cancer. I know many of you out there have lost your family members and loved ones to cancer. It sucks. F you, cancer.
Yes.
So, but to those of you who fought out there and I continue to fight, I'm here. And as you know, most of you don't know the things I do behind the scenes, but I've communicated with many, way too many people that I want to even mention here that have been suffering and fighting cancer. So now it's our turn to kick cancer's ass. So I want to just put this on the screen quick, because this is going to show you what I'm up against tomorrow. It's just 3 minutes. So won't you listen with me for 3 minutes to what I'm going to go through tomorrow?
PET-CT combines two different imaging technologies in a single scan: positron emission tomography, or PET for short, and computed tomography, or CT. Together, they result in a highly sensitive test that allows physiological changes to be precisely localized and evaluated at an early stage. PET measures the body's biological processes. CT generates high-resolution cross-sectional images of the body's anatomy. By combining both sets of information into a single, three-dimensional image, metabolic processes are mapped precisely and in all spatial dimensions.
Now, you guys, we're supporting Duty Ron. You guys can go to his channel and watch us over there with him, or go over there now. I don't, but I'm going to watch this, and then I'm going to go back to my my analysis, okay? So if you guys want to hang in there, you can. Either way, we're here for Ron. We're here for him. We support him. We love him. And prayers to Ron. Prayers to Ron.
This helps to reveal the patient's condition at a very early stage. The combination of PET and CT gives a more accurate picture than the two scans performed separately, helping to facilitate a more accurate diagnosis. Physicians use PET-CT scans to aid in the detection of tumors and metastasis. Scans can also aid in distinguishing between malignant and benign changes at an early stage, determining the stage of a disease, developing a treatment strategy, and monitoring the response. PET-CT scans can also be used to evaluate Alzheimer's disease and heart disease. Metabolic activity is measured using so-called PET tracers. These are weakly radioactive biomolecules that behave like normal biomolecules and accumulate where needed. The PET scanner records an image of the tracer distribution as it collects in areas of higher metabolic activity, similar to cars gathering in a parking lot. These areas show up as bright spots on the PET scan. In principle, any biomolecule can be a tracer. Most often, however, radioactive labeled glucose is used, so-called 18F-FDG, which accumulates in tissues and organs with a high energy demand. Since the tracer decays quickly, it must be prepared anew before each examination. Before the PET-CT scan, the tracer is injected into a vein in the patient's arm. After that, the patient must rest for an hour to allow the substance to spread through their body. Then the examination takes place. CT uses X-rays and images multiple layers of the body in succession. The PET scan registers the decay of the tracer by means of the gamma rays emitted. A fused image is created from the dataset. (18F-FDG) glucose has a short half-life. After 2 hours, only half of the radioactivity remains. After 4 hours, only a quarter, and so on. The radiation dose from the two examinations corresponds, on average, to the annual natural background radiation to which every individual is exposed. At present, PET CT scans are used to make mainly static images of the metabolic processes. The future will be dynamic imaging that captures and quantifies the metabolic processes over time. This will give physicians additional information to be able to diagnose, stage, treat, and monitor disease more effectively.
So, you know me, I like to go with the data and the facts. This is what I'm looking at tomorrow. And I want to say thank you to everyone who prayed for me, who continues to pray for me. The prayer chains mean a lot, the positive vibes. But I also want to acknowledge phone calls from prison and everyone who's given super chats. Wow. What a generous super chat. Phone calls from prison. Thank you for all you do. And thank you for being true friends. Here, we stand together. We're going to fight together. Jennifer, thank you. Stephanie, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Coral and Dexter, thank you for the super chat. We love you guys in your community. She sends in 20 and says, love you, Ron. As my community has mixed with yours, we will be right here with you. You will kick cancer's ass. It doesn't stand a chance. And fuck you, Jesse. We had to get that in there. And fuck you, cancer. Thank you. Kelly, thank you for becoming a member. Kerry, thank you for becoming a member. SJ, so much love and prayers to you and the family. And thank you for the text message. It means a lot. Thank you, SJ. Allison BD sends in a super chat. Where did she go? There she is. You have an army of prayer warriors behind you. Amen to that. I knew I could come here and I knew I could come to the community and ask for help. I'm not afraid to ask for help. I'm afraid of cancer, but I'm going to kick its ass. I'm afraid of what the unknowns are because I don't know what I have. I don't know if I have 5 tumors in my body or if I just have this one here in my cheek. And I'm praying that it's only the one in my cheek. JD Delay, thank you so much. Wow, very generous, brother. We love your duty, Ron. Prayers for you, brother. Thank you. Thank you, JD Delay. And these are all great channels. JD is on TikTok, here on YouTube. I mean, he's got a great community. I can't wait to collab with JD. Crystal, thank you so much for the super love. I appreciate that. It all means a lot to me. Vet Girl, thank you. Thank you for that super love. Duty Ron, OG here. Yeah, you are. You've been around forever. May God hold and give you healing. Thank you. Thank you so much. And listen, I'm just asking for prayers here. These super chats are icing on the cake. You guys are awesome. Completely not necessary, but it shows how much people love and support this great community and are supporting me. And it really tickles me. It makes me feel really good. Nicholas, thank you for the prayers. Jumpsuit coming in with 100. Love you, Ron. Love you like a son. Paul, you know, about a year ago, we crossed our paths, and I said to myself, this is a good person, and just ran into some bad shit. So God bless you, and thank you. Thank you for supporting me, and we support each other. Gian, thank you for the $5. Duty Ron, look into Dr. Thomas Seyfried. And ketosis, very effective. You're not the first. Somebody else told me about that. Sarah, thank you so much. Shawk and Hurrah. May the power of prayer wrap you and your family in comfort during this unimaginable, scary time. Sending you all the positivity and love.
You know what? We are a praying community, and we're all praying. Sadie's mama, everybody in this chat right now is praying and sending love for Ron. This is a mere, I mean, when you get something like this from Ron, and he's saying he has cancer, and it could be something that's worse than we know. All of the stuff that happens outside of that doesn't matter. All that matters is our health and who we have to surround us. So thank you. Thank you all for praying. Those of you that think it's silly, there you go. Prayers do work and they help. And look at this love that we have and Ron has. My God.
But I do want to let you guys know that, you know, responding 23 years ago down to the World Trade Center, I never thought in a million years that it was going to affect me. But it did. It got me. It got me through the skin cancer many years ago. But that was squamous cell and basal cell carcinoma. But when you look at cancer within your body, when you look at lymphoma, which is a blood cancer, it's scary because I don't know anything about it. I never wanted to be an expert in cancer. But when this shows up in your life, like Wednesday, October 16th is when I got the notification. I'm going to give you guys a quick synopsis of what happened to me. On March, like around March 15th of 2024, I was shaving, and every time I shave, I swipe my face to make sure I get a smooth shave so my wife doesn't complain that I'm scraping her with my beard. I don't have a smooth shave right now, but I smoothly I wipe my hand down my face to make sure I got a clean shave. I felt a lump in March, and I was scheduled to go to my dentist for a cleaning, a regular cleaning. And I asked my dentist, hey, I started Googling all of what could be a lump in your cheek. And it said, well, your salivary gland could be blocked. And that could be the lump. And I was like, okay, that would be simple. So I asked the dentist, he checked me and he said, no, your salivary gland is clear. Go to an ENT. Go to an ENT immediately and get it checked. So I went to my ENT and he felt it and said, it's not hard. It's soft. It's probably a calcium deposit, but we won't know. Go and get a sonogram. I want to get an image of it. And the sonogram showed it was 14 centimeters. And he said, let's monitor it. Let's look at it in 2 months and let's check it again. 2 months later, I went for another sonogram and it was 17 centimeters. It got bigger. And he said, oh, let's get an MRI. I went into the MRI machine with the cage over my head. Those of you who have, in fear of being enclosed in place, claustrophobic, it was 40 minutes and it was a nightmare for me because I had this plastic cage over my face. And I got the MRI and he said, hey, the only sure bet way is to get a fine needle biopsy. And that's what I got in October 10th. I got a fine needle biopsy. And that biopsy came back October 16th, last Wednesday, as lymphoma, cancer. And I got the notification in my patient portal before my doctor talked to me. So it was really scary. I got my notification that I had cancer before I even talked to a doctor. So crazy.
That happens.
I have my good friend, amazing aunt, who I love her, from the police department. We were brothers and sisters together. She's been here for 10, 15 minutes now. Amazing. Oh boy, that was bad time.
No, I'm here.
All right, Joel, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you guys, if you want to go to Duty Ron's channel, go support him. You should. I'm going to finish up my interrogation video and push you over to another stream, and then I'll let you guys decide. You guys can go back to his channel. You can watch the replay if you want. You could do whatever you're free to do. I welcome you to go over there. Go subscribe to Duty Ron. Go support him. We love him. I'm going to finish up with my episode, and then I'll let you guys be free for the night. But we love you, Ron. We're sending all the love, all the prayers, and I'm here for you. I just talked to Kat or Oblivious Benson right before this stream, so I knew what was happening and going on. But I love you guys so much. Tomorrow we're going to be on a members only. We can talk about this and everything else, and just know that I support Ron behind the scenes and on camera. So I'm going to pull this down. You guys know to go Duty Ron at Duty Ron. I'm going to finish mine up, and I love you guys no matter what you decide to do. I say support Ron now, later, whatever. Love you guys. All right, let's go. We're doing Deception Detective, how to interrogate Stephan Sterns and spot an evil predator. Okay, so I love you guys. Yeah, do your thing. I'm just going to finish up my thing. And, this was unexpected for myself and for everybody. We love you, Ron. We're here.
How many times do you think you updated your phone?
I think I tried to update it twice, and I don't know what happened.
Okay, and from what I understand, that you gave the deputies consent to look through your phone. You did, okay. And you voluntarily gave it to them so they could bring it here to do the extraction and stuff like that. Okay. What do you think was on the phone?
Text messages, emails, all stuff.
Pictures?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of pictures were on there?
Trading card pictures, lightsaber pictures, Disney pictures.
Do you have a Google account?
Yeah.
What's scary is when he says Disney pictures, everybody. I wonder what he means by that. I wonder how many people are working at Disney that trade CSAM, contribute to CSAM, sell CSAM. There's got to be a lot. Yeah, CSAM pictures, Tom. It's exactly what I was thinking. We watched that big bust yesterday. How many people and how many images do you think from people that work at Disney or affiliated with Disney? Yeah, Wyatt, tons. I couldn't have said that better.
Do you save pictures to your Google account?
Sometimes.
Or is it automatically? I know sometimes phones sync to a cloud and.
Yeah, I think it backs up to Google.
Mm-hmm. And then sometimes when you reset your phone, and your phone updates and puts these apps back on your phone, sometimes they will put the images back on your phone.
I'm not sure. Oh, I assume so.
Do you have any pictures of you?
Probably. I mean, we went to Disney.
What do you think was on your phone? Do you have a Google account? Sometimes Google will sync stuff to your phone. This line of questioning might be the best of the entire interrogation. None of these questions force a denial because none of them are directly incriminating. It's not like asking, did you have inappropriate pictures of Madeline on your phone? But they do create a powerful mind virus. The detectives may have seen his illicit Google Cloud photos, similar to when they mentioned that there might be cameras near the dumpster, or asked Stephan out of the blue if he knows anyone in St. Cloud. Yet, once again, Stephan remains ice cold. He continues to lie in the face of all these implications the way only a psychopath can. And this appears to be the last straw for the detectives because things go completely off the rails after this.
Took selfies on the train. She got back from.
Keep in mind here, when he clams up, it's because they get a little bit harsher. They did a fantastic job the whole time by keeping the tone down and staying with him and kind of, being like a little kid and not coming at him hard. That's the only reason they were to get as much as they did out of him. So remember that. It's hard. I know when you know somebody's lying to you, it's hard to sit there and be like, hey, what did you do? What's going on? It's hard to do that, but they did a great job. And at this point, I don't know how much more they could have done. I really don't. All right, let's go. Deception Detective, we love you. Thank you for analyzing this video. And let's get this video to 50,000 on his channel.
Puerto Rico and had her hair braided. We got pictures of that. All sorts of pictures.
Possibly.
Family events. But not as much of a shutter button. I'm taking her every once in a while.
Any other pictures you can think of? Here's where I'm going to be brutally honest with you. There's your phone. And I'm pretty sure you know what some of those pictures are about. You're a very intelligent person.
And this is how you know it's about to stop. If they had done this 20 minutes ago, he would have already stopped. Yeah, he's like a roach, but they said, let's be honest right now. We got the pictures and they're still treating him like a kid. Everybody keep that in mind. They're treating him like a little child instead of coming at him because they want to rip his throat out. They're not. All right, listen up.
I don't want you to discredit yourself by saying you don't know about all the pictures that are on your phone. You understand what I'm saying? So do you want to add to the list of pictures?
No. Should I be talking with a lawyer right now?
See?
I can't answer that.
Should I be talking to a lawyer right now? That would have been him if they would have said, Maddie didn't leave that day. She didn't leave the condo alive, did she? Or something like to that effect about when they talked about the backpack and saying, did she really need her backpack that day? Yeah, Tom, boom. There it is. That's what would have happened.
That question. My sole purpose right now is to see if I can find, and I'm really hoping you know me.
Okay, well, I'd like to try to help. I feel like I should probably have a lawyer present at this point.
So you're wanting an attorney?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That can happen. I want to let you know you're not free to leave. You're being detained, okay? Do you want to know what you're being detained for? Capital sexual battery and possession of child pornography.
CP.
Okay. So you're going to step out. If you need anything, please tap on this door. Okay? And there's going to be detectives outside that will be able to assist you.
Okay.
Well, good luck to you, Mr. Is it Sterns?
Yeah.
Sterns.
Now, many of you probably watched this many times on different channels. obviously CSAM, CP, whatever, you guys know what that is. They're pretty harsh on this. I don't know how to cover cases like this without them saying stuff like this. I try to edit it, but yeah, do me a favor, y'all. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't, so tomorrow you can come be part of the members only. I love the you're not free to leave part. YouTube has been cracking down on everything and everybody, and it's hard to cover these true crime cases. It's just kind of getting stuck in the hopper. And I think it might be because of all the trials, but I really want this information to get out there to people, to bring awareness. I want more of a community here, a bigger community, so we can help people like showing love for Do You Wrong, the support. You saw that support, so much love. You guys, the people that he has in his community, and I'm so proud to be part of his community. I just absolutely love it. I'm such a small creator. I'm not even at 20K, and yet we've got people like Duty Ron who even know who the heck I am because of this community that shows so much love. Yes, hashtag arrestjennsoto, and we never did trigger warnings, but we're still going. I want to introduce you to Mandu. I'm gonna play part of it, and you guys are probably gonna get angry. It's one of the ones that is a little bit less. It doesn't say too bad of terms, but you're gonna get upset when you see that what happens next. You're gonna be outraged if you haven't already seen that channel.
Once a suspect invokes their right to an attorney, interrogation's over. In their frustration, I think they pushed just a bit too hard. Want more interrogations or more of this case? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay true.
Of course we do, sir. We love you. Absolutely love Deception Detective. And you know what I'd love to do? I do love the free to leave. I think trials on cases should be pushed forward instead of delaying. I agree, but they got to get it right. All right, let's keep going. I love you guys, and I want to show you this. I don't love you the way this guy does, I love my granddaughter. 2 years later, he has parole. This is outrageous. Now, if you guys can drop a link in chat to the Mandu channel, there's Mandu and then Mandu 2. This guy is one of hundreds of Stephan Sterns like that. 2 years later, doing this to a 3-4-year-old that's his granddaughter. I mean, there's hundreds of them on this channel, and I'd love to collaborate with this guy. He does live streams all the time. He's constantly doing live streams, and I don't know his email address, but if you guys can drop his channel, I want to collaborate with this guy. I'd love to live stream with him and go over cases like this that are everyday people that are not getting the community support that they deserve because it's not Stephan Sterns. So let's watch this a little bit, and I'm going to try to not play language that's bad. I'm trying to see what YouTube is doing lately with the algorithm. All right, listen up closely.
To me.
Like I said, I wrote something up, but I'd like to use it if I may.
You may.
I'm very, very sorry to have hurt you. I think you with every day and wish I could.
All right, listen, he's writing this to his granddaughter, and what he did after 2 years, he's up for parole, y'all. Now, remember, that's a lifetime of hurt that you cause somebody when you do something like what Stephan Sterns did to Maddie. And just think about if she had lived through it, what would have happened? This could be Stephan Sterns sitting in that seat. It's just as comparable. All right, so listen up. He's writing a note to his granddaughter. This is creepy to say, I think about you every day. All right, let's go.
Take that pain away. We used to be so close and now so far apart. I can't blame you for hating me.
This
And
guy.
not wanting to see me. I hope that someday to allow us to meet with a therapist and try to find an understanding and amends. I'm sorry I had to use my writing, but I knew I wouldn't be able to say what I really felt.
We are about to watch the parole hearing of a cockroach.
A cockroach and a monster. Mandoo, man. I love your channel. I haven't been able to reach out to you, but I want to collaborate with you if possible. These are eye-opening. These parole hearings are eye-opening, folks.
Monster. A biological grandfather who did this to his own granddaughter. It's not clear from the parole hearing how old she was, but it says that under the age of 12, older than the age of 3. Now, what's sickening, or more sickening, about this parole hearing is that it is taking place a mere 2 years after the date of his sentence. He was only
2 years. This is why I wanted to emphasize this to you. Stephan Sterns could have been out in less than 10 years if Maddie's life wouldn't have been taken and she would have been ruined. And every child that happens to, I'm not going to say they're ruined because it takes lots of therapy. They can rehabilitate themselves. That these guys can't rehabilitate. I mean, people that go through it can always be survivors and speak out loud to the community and start lifting people up. But this is just, you guys, I don't know. I maybe never watched parole hearings as much as I have now that I've found this channel. Just listen. This is just, it's unbelievable. I think castration is the only thing that you can do for people like this guy and Stephan Sterns.
given a 5-year sentence to begin with, yet up for parole after just 2. Now let's see how this parole board handles it in all of their brilliant wisdom, their deep knowledge and understanding of those who commit crimes of this nature, of those who would do this to their own biological grandchildren. Surely they have a deep understanding of human nature, and surely they will ask questions that really get into the understanding and psyche of this.
And we're going to listen to this for a little bit because you guys are going to say, what is going on? Yeah, castration, if they consent to it. I don't want them to consent to anything. That's my whole point. But yeah, we're going to listen to some of this. And it's outrageous because they don't have understanding of the crime. And these it's like the parole board is just talking to a computer. There's nothing, I don't understand where they're coming from. And I know it's overpopulation, but I'd rather see somebody that grows a bunch of marijuana. I'd rather see them out. I'd rather see a drug dealer out on the streets better than this person, because at least you can consent to, hey, I want to go buy some Fent, or you can't consent to this. And it's disturbing.
Of this roach. Please don't take my sarcasm the wrong way. I'm sure that you will agree with the parole board. I'm sure that we will find no issue with the brilliant people put in charge to protect us.
Over and over and over.
With that, let's jump in.
Please state your name and inmate number for the record, sir.
Certainly. James Sahusky, 440943.
This hearing is being conducted in consideration of the parole application for James Sahusky, 440943. He is serving a sentence of 10 years execution suspended after 5 years jail. 10 years probation to follow for sex. 4, victim underage, risk of injury to a child in illegal sexual contact. As of today, records reflect a parole eligibility date of September 19, 2024 at 50%. There is no victim input in this case. The offender has an offender accountability plan, or review of the plan shows the offender has completed good intentions, bad choices, anger management, and the short.
So many times victims will come in, or a parent of a victim will come in and say a statement so these people don't get out. No, they don't go into the room with them like a hearing. It's on Zoom. But nobody's standing up for this little girl in this hearing. And listen to what he says. Listen to what his response is on, hey, what do you have to say? How do you feel about this? 2 years. 2 years he's up for parole.
Short-term sex treatment to date, utilizing the statewide collaborative offender risk evaluation system scores the offender overall score for recidivate and falls within the low range Utilizing the static 99R, the offender overall score for sexual offense recidivism fall within the low range.
Recidivism, meaning he's going to do it again and he's going to go back in. The rate is really high once you're in there. Melissa Johnson, you're incorrect. It does mean most of them get out. I've watched 100 of these, and 98 out of the 100, the guys get out, and it doesn't matter what they say. It almost doesn't matter what they say. He can literally say, I'm going to go seek my granddaughter out next week and try to make amends with her. And they say, you shouldn't do that. Parole approved. That's why I'm so mad, because no, it does. It does. They are letting him out. It doesn't matter what they say. Listen to what he says.
Mr. Sahusky, this is your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should be granted parole. You may begin, sir.
Okay, I'm not too sure how all I'm nervous, I'll be honest with you. And hopefully, all right. I did prepare myself a few things for it. What I did to my granddaughter was wrong and horrible, and it haunted me every day since. I hurt her, my son, her father, and my family. I didn't know or understand how I allowed this to happen, and realized I needed outside help, and found a therapist having the experience and knowledge. For a year and a half, I met weekly with Martha Newberry.
They tell him not to say the name. It's Streamlive Kawasaki. I want to tell you something. I didn't pick one that has a victim impact statement and a victim advocate, but it doesn't even matter. I've watched all of them, and even the ones that say, please don't let him out, he's going to reoffend, they still approve it. That's why I'm trying to send you guys over to the Mandu channel, subscribe, consume as many as you can so you're aware of this. I would sit here all day with you guys and just stream these things if I could, so I can show you how outrageous it is. And now this will go till like 21 minutes, and then we can hear what they say. He's not even like he's talking to them. He's not sincere either.
For a 1 hour session, she guided me through the process with her questions and comments. Because of this, it came close to us what the root cause of my behavior happened. I was in a failing marriage relationship for many years, and I didn't realize it. Slowly over time, I grew unhappy, frustrated, and depressed. I stopped to drink more and thought it was due to the stress from work. Over time, I drank more with alcohol, which alcohol possessed and controlled me. It replaced unhappiness with happiness.
Now, keep in mind, 9 out of 10 of these guys will sit there and in their statements, they're just making excuses. They either were high out of their mind, they were drinking, they were having a hard time in their life. Absolutely infuriating, and that's why I'm bringing it to you. Yeah, Rosie, you just nailed it. The whole time, they're all just a bunch of excuses. So do me a favor. I know you don't like this content, but if you like the awareness that I bring to this community, the love, please do support my channel. Everything helps. Like, subscribe, shares, memberships. If you guys have the means to gift the membership or get a membership, please do. Everything helps. I appreciate it. These kind of, these videos are YouTube's just tanking on them lately. There's no kind of it's just going and then it's tanking because of what we're talking about. But I'm not going to stop talking to you guys about this because YouTube doesn't like it. I have to bring awareness to this so that one person knows. Out of the 189 people, if one person learns something, then please learn something. Like, share, subscribe. Failed relationship is crazy to go to date. Yeah, is crazy. Go date an adult. But so many of them say this. Why is that an excuse?
The frustration and depression disappeared. Life was good, except my protective barriers were lowered and bad decisions followed. This is a side note. On September 28, 2020, I joined AA and stopped drinking, and I have not touched a drop of alcohol since, which is over 4 years. I wish I realized my marriage was failing and attempt to rescue. via professional help, or at least not resort to alcohol to bury my problems.
Thank you.
My values were compromised, and I hurt my granddaughter, who I love, and she loved me. It is all.
That's so creepy that he says he loves her and she loved me. It's like these guys, and you know, this guy's probably been in and out of prison multiple times, right? You know, he's probably done this over and over and over, and he's not learning. Everybody, he's not learning. Yeah, wait till you get out and hit the bottle. It's not an excuse. He did it because in his mind, he likes doing that.
My fault. I caused a loss of love from her and my friends and families. One of the things I had, one second, please.
Thank you, Synth.
One of the things that when I interviewed with Mrs. Smelly, is that I gave her copies of the results. I don't know if you've had a chance, otherwise I'll read.
We have. No,
we
read
those documents.
Okay, all right. That was with the therapist, and also too, I took Dave. It was also she made copies of David Amora, MS, LPC, CCSC, his evaluation of me.
Like, what are you talking about, bro?
Wait, were you just gonna say? Did you just say you were gonna read all that to us? Yeah.
Well, I didn't.
No.
Anyway,
Well,
go ahead, sir.
Not the one, the 20-page one, but the 4-page one from
no.
the therapist.
We have it. Thank you, though.
Okay, good. All right. I didn't know what else to present here, so I went to the library and they gave me questions to be addressed. Why should I be approved by the parole board? I am a good person.
This is how much he doesn't know what to say and how insincere he is. I just want you guys to know this is not the only guy. There are guys in there that you would look at and say, oh, that's a good looking guy. And then you hear him start talking and he's doing that with his daughters, his own daughters, or his cousin, or he's been doing it for 10 years. This guy just gives off that vibe and the way he talks. It's absolutely disgusting, and trigger warning for anybody that has been victimized or is a survivor. And I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I want you guys to realize what's happening, what's going on, so we can be here to support people that have gone through this. I want my channel to be a support for you people that have, and I welcome you to email me. Anybody that's experienced this or needs to talk about it or wants to talk about it, I'm here. Please do message me. Yeah, where are you a good person, sir? They don't say any of that. They're laughing.
To society. I contribute by volunteering my time to a host of organizations, such as Mystic Aquarium. I was a volunteer scuba diver there. Plus, I did husbandry every other week. I did that for 7 years. Lions Club out of Brantford. I went through all the steps within there, and actually the last 12 years I was a treasurer. So I was always busy. The Zion Episcopal Church, I was.
I'm going to go a little bit more forward. I want you guys to hear the end result.
It also played a big role in this too, right?
Yes, it did. I didn't know I was an alcoholic, and an alcoholic is not this person that just stumbles around whatever. I would say it controlled me, but didn't control me. But it lowered my barriers, things I would never do, never ever do.
Yes.
Alcohol, and that's how come I haven't touched a drop since, because I don't want to go there again, ever.
Yeah, this is.
I don't know if I answered your question. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I understand the process of addiction, so
I mean, he's not an addict.
Yeah.
No, I don't do drugs.
Really?
But you did alcohol.
I did alcohol.
And to a point where you kind of lost control of what you were able to do or think or act.
Make bad decisions. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
While under the influence.
Pardon?
You don't see yourself as an addict. To alcohol.
To
did you see him have to think about that? They said, you're not an addict. And he was like, oh, you know what he's addicted to, right? The CSAM and all the other stuff, the CP. Oh, this is so troubling. So troubling. Not one word means anything. And the more I watch of these parole hearings, the more I realize they all just sound like they're regurgitated over and over. It's like they talk to each other and they tell each other what they should say. Now, this guy, we don't actually know his name, but he's just, we'll call him Grandpa that diddled his 2-year-old. And he's on it's not graphic. Nothing's graphic in here, but he's trying to get parole for it after 2 years. And watch what happens.
Alcohol, okay. I'm thinking of adding drugs.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's the distinction I thought you were making.
2 years.
Yes, I was addicted to it. I was addicted to alcohol. Yes.
Okay.
Was I drunk every night? No.
No.
All right. But
you used it to kind of medicate yourself and do those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So, but you didn't take an addiction program. It was on your OP.
This was a 1.
Yeah.
And I think that's primarily because, you know, as he said, he used alcohol to medicate, to get rid of the pain from the failing marriage. It lowered his inhibitions and brought him to where he is today. So that doesn't mean addict. It just means that was his coping mechanism. That was unhealthy.
So his coping mechanism was his granddaughter. And Patricia, step away. We love you. We're only going to listen to a little bit more so you can hear what happens. And then I'll push you to the Mandu channel. Jennifer White, thank you so much for the $5 cash up. I love you guys. And thank you for the support. Good night, Scary Sherry. We're almost done here, too. I just need to bring awareness to these people. And I need children to be protected even more. If somebody looks like they're not going to hurt somebody else, just assume that they're going to hurt somebody. Looks mean nothing. This guy could just be a grandpa. And he is a grandpa. That was his granddaughter.
Very. But you did do some AA. Well, you did go to AA. Have you done any in the facility? Have you done any in the facility?
No facility, whatever. I went to AA. I showed up there, and I came back the next day and the day after. And I just stopped drinking and start behaving, if lack of a better, I'm searching for words right now, you know, and
I can understand your search.
With God's help, and AA, it drove me where I don't want alcohol anymore. I can go right now. All right, because I have, and when people around me drink, I said, listen, go ahead and drink. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. As long as I can have a glass of water or soda, preferably soda. All right? I don't need the alcohol.
Thanks for that answer. I'm good. I got that.
You're doing fine, Mr.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take a deep breath.
Go a little further. It's nothing what he says means anything. What I want to do on Patreon.
Your plan. What's your plan to support yourself when you come out?
All right, let's listen to this, and it will lead up to what happens. 0 responsibility, 0 remorse. What I want to do with my Patreon page is to bring more awareness like this and be able to talk more freely. I can't stand having to edit things all the time because these kind of things can't be edited. You can't bring awareness if you're not seeing what's happening. So that's what I want to do with that channel, and I want you guys to reach out to me so we can have more open talks with each other, and we can do that on Patreon. So I'm starting to do that now. I've got a website that's coming. Synth is helping me with that. So yeah, I just want to let you guys know it's the kind of things that I want to focus on, but I can't on YouTube.
If I need to get a part-time job, work 2 to 3 days a week, but between my Social Security, my pension, and my 401k,
you're good.
I should be able. Yes, I am. Unless you want figures.
No, I don't want figures. No, I don't need figures. I do want to know how you're going to support yourself on the outside. That's all.
He does.
Listen, I appreciate you answering my questions. Let's just.
Husky.
Just say Jim. Just say Jim.
Thank you for answering my questions. I'm gonna let my colleagues ask whatever they need to ask.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Parole. Thank you. So, Mr. Sahuskis, I just have one question and we will deliberate. What do you say to your granddaughter when she says to you, Pop, why did you do this to me?
Listen.
Like I said, I wrote something up, but I'd like to use it if I may.
You may.
What would I say to?
All right, listen to his insincere answer. Vanessa Maldonado, we've dropped the link a few times, and I'm so glad that you asked. It's Mandoo. It's the Mandoo channel. I can't stop watching this, and I can't stop learning things. Every time I watch a new one, I learn more and more and more. Yeah, he's trying to seem pitiful, but I see anger in him too, and those eyes. All right, listen to this, and then you're going to hear, after all this, the response.
Oh, please don't say her name. Thank you. This is live stream for the whole world to see.
All right.
It is.
I'm very, very sorry to have hurt you. I think you of every day. I wish I could take that pain away.
You could
We
chat.
used to be so close and now so far apart. I can't blame you for hating me. And not wanting to see me.
No.
I hope that someday to allow us to meet with a therapist and try to find an understanding and amends. I'm sorry I had to use my writing, but I knew I wouldn't be able to say what I really felt because the emotions would be stepping in.
Because you know what he really feels, and he's not going to change. Now, Shannon O'Brien, we welcome you. Hello, we see you. And nowadays, if you don't see your chat coming up or nobody's responding, I've filtered out a lot of words. So not words that are going to be every day. I've put words in. So if you say a certain thing that's might pick up, it won't say. So welcome, we see you, and chat's kind of going fast. There's 165 people in here, and we're all really engaged. Thank you for joining, Shannon. Hope to see you tomorrow.
And I mean, whenever I get like this, my mind goes blank. So I'm sorry I had to use.
Well, you need to write it down then, because there will come a time. Unfortunately, sir, you have a lot less years to live ahead of you than you had years ago. And at least if you write something down and put it somewhere where when you are, finally expired, that maybe that'll help her heal, because this will be a forever thing for her. There's no words right now that can heal that pain. So give us a few minutes to talk about your case, sir.
Are there any other questions that you have?
No more questions. Nope, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Madam Chair, thank you very much.
So basically, this was 20 minutes of him babbling on about himself, how he feels, etc., etc. Chick, gotta go. Love you, Crime Crew. Be here tomorrow, please. All of you loyal people that are here every day supporting us, tomorrow is your day to say anything, ask anything, and to ask to watch something, whatever you guys want to do. I have something in mind, but I want to hear what you guys think. All right, here it is. Listen up close. What happens after all this?
Race low. I'm just static 9. Race low recidivate. But it's taken positive programming.
Yeah.
And done his short-term sex offender treatment while there. Has 10 years of probation to follow.
After 2 years of a child that's over 3, probably not much older 3, got 10 years of probation after 2 years.
I would be supportive of his discretionary parole today.
They're going to give him supportive.
I would as well.
He had a little over a year of that supervision that will be able to help him reintegrate, get acclimated to his new life as a sex offender, and hopefully complete the
Oh
remainder
my
of those 10
God.
years successfully on probation.
That was it. Hello, Profe Frere. Good to see you. Yes, you heard that, Wyatt. You heard that. Yes, he's paroled. After all this, we don't even need to listen to the rest of it. We can listen to a little bit of Mandu's commentary if you want, just because I really do want him to be on the channel. But absolutely outrageous. After all what we watched, him not even saying the right things, they're going to let him go, and he's going to serve the rest of the years on parole. What? That's all of them. If you guys watch the channel, that's all of them.
So I have no minors, no victim, problem sexual behavior in halfway house. No alcohol.
Look, he looks surprised. Look at his face. He's like, what? How did I get out? All right, let's see. This guy is great. Go subscribe to him after this.
You know, it's crazy. They're like putting words in his mouth. They're not asking him, you know, in Louisiana parole hearings, you would have like a Miss Bonnie Jackson, you would have a Mr. O'Shea. You have
They told him what to say. They helped him along. They made jokes. They laughed, and then they approved it, y'all. Did you see that coming? Probably. Crystal Burns, there's a link that says join. If one of the mods, if you guys can drop the join link for Crystal, I really want you to be here at the members only tomorrow. But this is the world we live in now. So please watch your children, other people's children, your grandchildren, all that. Synth, can you drop the join button? Yeah, wow. All right, we're almost done with this, y'all. Unbelievable.
the parole board members that would actually say, can you tell us what you were thinking? Why did he do it? Tell us what happened. And the reason that they're asking these questions is because you can get so much information out of it. How many times have we seen these roaches go ahead and say, well, it was her fault. She wanted it.
Yep.
They say something that just brings clarity that no, this person is not. You have to keep him locked up longer.
That's the moral of this story. And yeah, I'm triggered by this. I get triggered by this. You guys go watch that channel, and then we can talk about it more. This is not just Louisiana. This is not Florida. It's Utah. It's Colorado. It's Seattle. It's Louisiana. It's Florida. It's everywhere. It's everywhere, y'all. I just wanted to bring awareness since we were doing Stephan Sterns. We're covering the Stephan Sterns case. And, Maddie has a lot of, all of us are supporting her, but we wouldn't if it wouldn't have made it to national news, etc. I think all the children need to have just as much support. And you're right, Bean. So many of them say that. So many of them say, well, she wanted it or she seduced me at 2-3 years old. Yeah, love your truth. Yes, thank you. All right, one last thing. We're in an hour and 33 minutes. I wanted to show off what Bree did. Now, Bree, correct me if I'm wrong, but Bree made a new header for the channel of support or justice for Madeline Soto. So I want to show you that real quick, and then I will let you guys do whatever you want to do. Go back to Duty Ron's channel, support it, donate, share it, like it, leave a comment for him. But I did want to show you this quickly. It's awesome, Bree. You did a great job. You're gonna have to help us design some apparel. Take a look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And while I'm saying that, go over to Justice for Madeline Soto at Facebook. It's a Facebook group, Justice for Madeline Soto. It has 11.7 thousand members, and it's a private group. Jenny is one of the head people, Jenny Esquivel. She's the lady that we talk to a lot. She's an advocate for the Madeline Soto case, we'll just say. But yeah, take a look at that. It's beautiful. It brought light to the Justice for Madeline Soto Facebook group, and I just want everyone to know and share how beautiful it is. So yeah, good job, Bree. Thanks for all you do. You're gonna do members only tomorrow, and do one for us non-members. You guys are, I do one for the non-members every day, Vanessa. You know, I love you guys. Every day you get one. All right. So I wanted to show you that. And I think I packed your brain full of stuff today. And Ron, you guys say a prayer for Ron. Yeah, great job, Bree. I love you all. I'll be back here tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Do join us for the members only, please. Love to hang out with you. Give me suggestions on cases. We're going to have some fun tomorrow. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?